They did it. They actually did it. I want you to picture a dog round in Call of Duty Zombies, or any sort of special round, vermin round as they call them now, right? You picture a very fast, very easy, very simple max ammo round, right? You're going to get a max ammo at the end. Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's a dog round, it's chill, or, maybe let's wait till the next dog round before we exfil, stuff like that, right? It's a very chill round that, like, everyone kind of just goes through, and it's not really scary. You know what I mean? Above all, the dog round, when you think of it in your head, you think of easy and fast. And that's kind of what dog rounds have been reduced to. But if you think back, gone are the original horrors of the original dog rounds, okay? We're talking about the Ascension Monkeys, and we're talking about the World at War dog rounds. We're talking about the Pentagon Thief, okay? When these dog rounds, quote unquote, would happen, shit would start to hit the fan, okay? People would be hiding in corners. People would be getting their guns up and absolutely praying for their life not to get mauled apart. And that sense of fear and dread from the dog round splitting up the action would be perfectly rewarded with a max ammo at the end. One of the most vital power-ups, especially in the older games. And gone are the days of that, where now dog rounds just are a fraction of what they used to be in terms of how scary they used to be, right? Until now. In Totenreich, okay, this round, special round, starts like any other round, okay? You hear the sort of guitar riff, fog starts to roll in, right? And things seem to be going about like a normal special round. But then all of a sudden, your screen starts to get frozen as if you're standing in frozen water. And you're like, okay, this is kind of new, right? And that's one of the very first mechanics of this special round that you learn. Your screen will start to frozen if you're outside, and you have to get inside in order to unfreeze your screen. And then all of a sudden, the frozen zombies start to spawn, okay? Now these guys are what make this special round so unique, okay, in my opinion. The frozen zombies will absolutely run at you at very fast speeds, even on the lower rounds. They will sprint towards you, right? And this might, you might think about it as if it's a tormentor from Black Ops Cold War, or just like a regular explosive hellhound, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal. But these guys are deadly, okay? These guys are deadly, and they will absolutely destroy you if you're not ready. Essentially, the frozen zombies will run towards you, and when you shoot them to try to explode them, they will explode and deal an area of attack damage to you. But not only do you get an area of attack damage, you also receive a frozen tornado that will continually freeze you as you stand inside the frozen tornado, okay? And deal chip damage to you. So, not only are you not healing, you're also getting actively frozen in response to a bunch of other extremely fast enemies that are running at you. This frozen round is especially scary because you are inside the entire time. If you want to step outside and deal with the horrors that are outside, you go ahead. But essentially, the map forces you to go inside and try to hide out and camp out inside. Sort of like the original dog rounds where you camp inside somewhere in a corner. This map brings back that element of horror by making it foggy outside so you can't really see, and these super fast exploding zombies that come towards you. It almost forces you inside. And then once you're inside, you are most susceptible to the attack of the enemy, which is when it explodes you, it does area of attack damage. So essentially it denies the area inside, and also the entire round denies the area outside. So you really don't have a lot to do. It makes you scared, it makes you panic, and that's how you end up taking cheap downs, or downs that you wouldn't take if it was any other type of round. But because this is especially a frozen round, you're susceptible to all these sort of mind tricks that the game starts to play on you, which I think is very, very cool. And I think this is a very, very cool return to form for the frozen rounds and for the dog rounds overall, which I wish to see in the future. Because the enemies are so fast, when you're being frozen, whether you're inside or outside, you're constantly being barraged with new guys. And you'll come to learn that this round is very susceptible to downs, and it is actually the most threatening round to high round players unless you're using the traps, which starts to make these enemies even more balanced. So the flame traps essentially allow you to mitigate the effects of the frozen if you turn them on the one mode, so that you'll just have a protective ring around you. And on top of that, they're very, very effective at dealing with the enemies because the fire traps instantly kill them. So not only do you have a very hard special round, which is scary, you also have a mitigation strategy to it if you're in the position where you're near one of the flame traps. But even if you're near a flame trap and you turn it on, it might not necessarily kill the whole round, so you still have to kill the rest of the frozen zombies by yourself. So there's still that bit of challenge there. You're never 100% safe from these guys, and these guys will absolutely decimate you on the higher rounds, okay? If you're not careful and you're not playing right, even if you are playing right, you can still get absolutely decimated if you do not take it seriously, which I very, very much love. When you think of what a special round is supposed to be, or what a dog round is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be like the regular rounds, okay? It's not supposed to play or feel like what the regular zombie rounds feel like. The special round is supposed to shake things up, okay? It's supposed to put you on your toes. It's supposed to make you really think about what you're doing and very much change up how you're doing things, right? Think about the Pentagon Thief. You go to a completely different spot on the map normally whenever you hear him showing up, or when you want to go inside to camp out for dogs, right? This mechanic brings this feeling back because you completely change up where you're going. Number one, by default, it makes you go inside, which is, you know, not normally a place where people would be hiding out in this map. Maybe in some areas, but still. This map makes you completely think in a different way and come up with a different strategy completely for the frozen rounds. And in the end, the frozen rounds, for all this thinking and for all this strategizing, it rewards you with a max ammo at the very end to help you continue on with the regular long monotonous hordes. It's supposed to be a fast, short blip of high action, which is what I think they completely returned to in the form of this frozen round. And I really want to commemorate Treyarch for that. I think it was an absolutely impeccable job. But that's about it. I'll catch you guys in the next one for the next videos. Catch you in the next one. Peace.